can get this done relatively quickly. What do you think? What do you think?
Yeah, we can do that thing again where we set the timer and then right when we cross the half
20
hour
minutes
mark,
past.
yeah, exactly. We'll start wrap it up.
Yeah. Well, this is fun. This is we're gonna call this one the T-shirt edition of the Handsome Hour.
Yeah.
Is it official? Have we spoken with people? We're live right now.
We're on.
Yeah,
people,
I mean, like, because
do the people want to hear this?
I was told to record banter. No, I'm not broadcasting it. This is just what it's capturing. I'll edit it all out.
This is B-roll. This is the equivalent of B-roll.
This is B-roll.
So who's running
Sports Handsome Hour with Michael Henry, Anish Ramaswamy, and
I'm
yours
just like
truly,
compelled.
Boiler Down.
Like Anish and I get full first name, last name.
Yeah. I'll censor it. Don't worry about it.
Boiler Down. Oh wait, okay. Featuring Hank, the Swami, and Boiler Down. You have to go breathy with it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Why do you say? I guess you do. You sound
Nobody
like
calls me Hank anywhere but me, right? Is that true?
No, that's absolutely true. And
That's
sometimes
awesome.
I forget. I sometimes forget, and then I'm like,
Who I'm talking to? There's somebody else. You look behind you. Oh, that's me. That's me.
That's from by the railroadtie.com days, folks.
Is that right? That's where that comes from. It didn't stick.
Back when I had 12 people reading.
I was one of the 12 people, so I was 1/12.
Well, listen,
1/12.
I mean,
maybe 2/12 of your readership is on this call.
1/12
right
of
now.
my readership.
Yeah.
A match made in heaven came from that reading and that writing. Still haven't met in person, correct, gentlemen?
Yes.
Real.
Yeah,
I think that's an aspect of Anisha's personality.
It's so good, so good. It's like
Anish
what's
was
the
white.
movie?
This is what he would be like.
It's like Fight Club.
I
just
don't think there's yeah. What was the movie?
like what if I just
the
what if
only
I
good
end
movie
up,
Nicolas Cage was in?
Face Off.
Where he was. That's another one with two personalities or weird things happening. Is it Bean John Malkovich? Was that him?
Oh, what are you thinking of? I think I know.
no, you're thinking of the one where he's nuts.
Yes, that's the one.
Magnolia. Or Magnolia something. Shit, that's a great movie, by the way.
It's a great movie. It is a great movie. It's one of my favorite movies ever. I've seen it twice. I should see it more time. I should own it.
It's a
Let's
great.
get it started, yo. Let's get on topic. There's I don't know the adaptation. Well done. That's it. Adaptation.
I've never even heard of that movie.
Dude, watch it.
It's a great movie.
It screws with your mind at the end too, doesn't it?
Adaptation.
Yeah. I saw Adaptation and Memento in the same 6-month period, and I was all messed up.
Hey, so I actually am getting a little bit of delay, or not delay, but like it's choppy. So maybe we should kill the webcam again.
Okay. Is it just me or is it everybody?
No, it's everyone, and it might be me too. Yeah.
I'm just Cam. Is that better now, or is that not?
Yeah, I mean, like I think right now is good.
Now, you sound crystal clear on this, and I have an unusual situation. I'm actually broadcasting from the love nest.
But no love is being made yet.
No, not yet. You'll know when that starts.
Count as love being generated. We're doing tonight.
Depends on how good the show goes, guys.
Yeah. The three of us. Yeah. Have we ever had a bad show? You know what? I retract that question because we've had several bad shows.
I've never had a bad show in my life.
They seem to get better every time we do them. I will say that.
I feel like some of our guests have. Oh shit! Oh shit!
Here he is pacing.
He's pacing in a hotel.
Pacing in another hotel room.
He's not in a robe. We went videoless, by the way.
Why'd we do that? Is it
There
better
was
for...
some choppy audio, but that's fine. I'd like to see your face.
No. This way I can disrobe, and there's no issue with it. I mean, no more issue than there normally would be.
Unusually.
Who said there would be an issue with it?
That's a good point.
I've been
Wait,
begging
let me put
for
it back
this.
on.
Are you in Oregon again?
I am in a different city. I'm in one of your favorite cities, a big sports fan of this city. No, I'm in a city that you lived in for, like
Boston.
12 minutes. Yeah.
Boston.
Yeah.
Boston.
27 months.
Two of you live there.
27 months, but it felt like 27 years.
27 months. Yeah.
You didn't.
Are we recording? Because I have a bone to pick. I'd like to start off with. I'd like to.
We're recording.
So this is live. We're doing it live. All right. Listen. So I don't know if you all saw this because there's a lot that flies by on the Boiled Sports Twitter feed, but after the game against Ohio, their second game of the season, you all are aware of that, right? Okay, second game of the season. The gentleman who's mumbling right now said, "Who told you this was a bowl team?" That's right, this guy right here. Now, if you check the record, you'll see that he told us this was a 3-win team. Now,
who told you it was a bowl team? I told you
won their final game
while
of the
I
season.
was in Lucas Oil Stadium, and I publicly ate crow on multiple video casts. That's not enough. What do I need to do? Do I need to crawl?
This isn't Mike and Mike. You can't change your prediction every week.
No, I didn't. I mean, I don't change every week. I think I was the only one with the nuts enough to say, okay, this is a good team, right?
What? I said this. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you would.
To qualify for a bowl before people start thumping their chests.
No, that's the whole point. That's the whole point. I have confidence in you, Coach Brohm. I know you're listening right now.
You big fan of the show, Coach Brohm.
Who was more positive on this team before the season started? You or me?
Didn't we have the same record?
Yeah, weren't you guys pretty close?
No. Wow, the revisionist history around here is amazing. But no, that's all right.
Okay,
but
what'd you have? What'd you have, bro? What'd you have?
I had 6. No, I didn't have 6.
After the Louisville game, though, Dowd just completely
he flipped.
Well, but I first of all, I picked Louisville as my potential upset game, and I said that they would barely lose it. And we had Michael over there talking about them losing 56-10. I think wasn't that what his was?
What? No, it was ridiculous, but it wasn't that ridiculous.
I think Dave said 56-10.
Yeah, Dave said 56.
Dave got the Ohio game within like a field goal.
Dave does that. I don't know how he does.
It's really weird.
Denise, when you edit, can you add this in? You like when I do the introductions for everybody. So they say NJ Money. That's how you can add in that.
Yeah, I'll edit it. Hey, Jay, welcome us to the Handsome Hour.
What? So now we're going to start it? Is that the
we actually haven't
we did intros already. Yeah, we did.
My pants are officially off. My pants are officially off.
Off the rails.
Yeah,
my pants are off the rails.
So we've set a 30-minute goal for the Handsome Hour tonight.
So we'll see you at 10:15.
I bet you set 30-minute goals all the time.
Dude,
okay, go. Welcome us.
What am I, Superman?
All right.
Yeah, who are you? 30 minutes.
Welcome to the Boiled Sports Handsome Hour, starring Anish as Chocolate Thunder.
Oh yeah, Milky chocolate, silky milky.
Anish, who, see, how many times have we talked about how it would be great if we could publicize, well, great and awful, if we could publicize our behind-the-scenes Voxer threads, because there are times when they're highly entertaining. But one of the things that was great this week was that Anish's thumbs up is color pigment appropriate.
Indeed.
And then I noticed that today, Michael, that didn't go unnoticed, by the way. Your thumbs up was a solid black hand. I was very impressed with that.
All my thumbs on my phone I've set to non-Caucasian, by the way. long time ago, because I thought it was dumb. Number one, the ones that the default is actually a Simpsons yellow on the.
It's very yellow.
Yeah, it's dumb. In the summer, I have a nice tan. I have a beautiful.
Right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. So who's steering this ship? Am I doing it now that I showed up late?
You're steering the ship.
Hold on. I got kind of breaking news, but not really breaking news.
Oh, good. Because that works really well.
We might have actually lost Michael. I don't know.
Okay. What does he add?
No big deal. Yeah. So just a day and a half ago, Missouri fired its defensive coordinator.
No way.
Yes, way.
Oh boy, they're gonna be
even though Coach Odom, their head coach, calls every defensive play, so I don't understand. I don't understand.
That's called scapegoating.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
And guess what? That's so good for morale.
That's great for morale. Who was Hazel's first defensive coordinator, and when was he fired?
It wasn't the French Canadian. That was the second, right? Or was that?
No, he had 2 years, didn't he? Didn't the first guy have 2 years? No,
So-
you're right.
So if I think
Yeah, it
he
was the
got
French
fired
Canadian. That was it. That's it.
after
right?
the second year. Tibisar? No.
Yes, that's it.
Tibisar, but I don't think he was the original. I think wasn't
He
it?
wasn't really French Canadian, by the way.
No.
That was the fun.
Enchanté.
We will blitz all day long. No, we will run. We will run a 5-2.
Oh, Zutalo.
Zudalo, 3-4.
Man, we've just completely made up a complete character.
I like it. So he was Danny Hopes. So consulting the YouTubes, or I mean the Wikipedias.
He was Danny Hope's
He was Danny Hope's last defensive coordinator. Then I blocked all this from my mind, by the way, which is why.
Greg Hudson.
Hudson lasted 3 years, and so this guy at Missouri has lasted all of 1 year and 1 game.
2 games.
Guess what?
Two games.
What else?
2
Here's
games.
another interesting connection. Danny Hope actually hired that defensive coordinator to coach at Purdue, and he never coached.
Yikes! Oh, right, because then he got fired.
The DeMonte Cross.
Yes. He didn't get fired. He just took another job.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So
I don't
it's
know.
pretty
I think
funny
he was
that.
a positional coach, like linebackers coach at Purdue.
Well, clearly, we all need therapy because every time we get on the podcast, we wind up talking about Hazel for a little while.
No, that's fine because it's so fun. It's so fun to be in this mode now.
Yes. Because there's nothing bad to say about Brohm, and none of us want to touch on it because we don't want this little perfect little happiness, which is so sad, but it's perfect little level of happiness to be broken, right? We just want to. If we talk too much about it, then it's like maybe this isn't real. Like Purdue, and it sounds pathetic, but it's not. Purdue's competitive. I actually had 2 friends, so I'm at a work-related like gathering of people, and I have people from other parts of the country being like, "Man, Purdue looked really good the last 2 weeks," and I'm like, "How cool is that to actually have that be said and be true about Purdue?" And they're not being sarcastic. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's small victories, and you know what else? They're going to play a bad. This could not. Let's see if you guys agree. This could not line up better for Purdue, in my opinion, because they're going on the road. So if they win this game,
SEC,
they'll have what exactly?
SEC.
They'll have a road SEC win, which they will try. The best part of this is, you guys know I used to live amongst a bunch of SEC fans, and what they would try to do in this scenario. Never mind that Missouri won the fucking conference the first year they played.
Language. FCC will shut us down.
Oh, sorry. Not that SEC. So, but they would try to minimize this if Purdue were to win. But it's a road SEC win, and it's against a bad SEC team. So it lines up well for Purdue. They can't stop anybody.
Right.
And Purdue, that works. I learned last week that if they play a Division I team, they can't score very much either because they lost to I don't know what to make of South Carolina, but they weren't very good the last 2 years. So I'm fairly confident in saying they're not that good right now. And
I think they're actually okay. I think they're
okay, but Missouri got throttled.
Yeah,
they got throttled. It was 31-13 or something.
Well, what I'm hoping is Missouri has another understated uniform.
You love those racing numbers. You love those NASCAR numbers.
Oh my gosh, they got so much crap.
It's a good thing Purdue changed. It's a good thing Purdue changed because they look identical from those Hope teams.
Stupid font. Yeah.
What happens if Purdue loses though? Like from a mentality standpoint,
I don't think
about being in like this happy bubble. What happens?
I don't think it's that big of a deal. No, I don't
think it's the end of the world either because we're still playing with house money. So I mean, this isn't even one that I put down as a win. Definitely, I put this.
Me either.
But this is a solid question mark team. If Purdue wins, then it's it's
okay, but
they are way ahead of schedule though.
But if you want a bowl game,
if they win, they're probably going to the Rose Bowl. What?
Probably. Exactly. I mean, that's been my position the whole time. You guys are talking about 6 wins. My position the whole time is we're going to make the playoffs. So
we're talking about wins. Yeah, there's no. Yeah. Get another shot at Louisville in the playoff. Exactly.
I think if Purdue wins this, they're ahead of schedule. And if Purdue loses this, it's like, well, they lost to an SEC team. Now, Missouri is
sort of, kind of
the worst SEC team. So, and South Carolina, I think last year finished solidly in the middle. I think they finished 6-7, 3-5 record in conference. Basically, the middle, like the top of the middle, or the top of the bottom, maybe if you like to say it like that. Like South Carolina
top on the bottom.
That's right. South Carolina was in that finished above Vanderbilt, Missouri.
Saucy Gamecock.
Shuttlecock.
Sorry.
Did they?
Guys, Anish is making a serious point here.
No,
Okay, I'm
who's
sorry,
coach?
guys. I'm
Who's
so
their
sorry.
coach?
Will Muschamp. Come on.
Oh, so okay. I'm sorry. I confused Florida coaches that got caught humping a shark. I was going to make a humping shark joke.
No, that wasn't. No, Muschamp just looks like a fat dad in a golf shirt all the time. Like he's always got that kind of like the hairstyle is like he just needs a haircut and kind of just a little too fat for the golf shirt look. You know.
Yeah. I like that.
That's
look.
how all football coaches should look like, though.
You think?
Yeah,
like McAdoo?
Yeah,
like
that's
McAdoo or Muschamp or
McIntyre.
Too fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a tad.
So if Purdue loses, it's just like, the talent was never there. But if Purdue wins, it's like they're a little ahead of schedule.
Oh.
Here's the thing: if they show the defensive,
they're a lot ahead of schedule.
They're already ahead of schedule. Yeah. But the defensive speed that they showed to begin the second quarter versus Ohio, if they show that versus Missouri, they'll get beaten by 100. That was like one of the worst defensive drives I can remember in a long time. That was like a Hazel team 2 years ago.
Well, even in the first quarter. So on YouTube, they actually have so I was at State College in a bar watching the game around a bunch of Penn State fans and Pitt fans. So like you don't really get the subtleties of whatever. So I was looking for it. There's a person that actually has the full game on YouTube. So I was rewatching it and I didn't realize really in the first quarter and a half, so what you were talking about, the entire first quarter plus that drive or two in the second quarter, they kind of looked bad. Like the defense kind of looked bad. And Ohio didn't really go anywhere because they were awful. Completely mistimed runs, awful blocking.
That quarterback kept throwing the ball 15 feet over his receivers.
Yeah, he had one.
It was like Kyle
he threw over the coaches one time. He threw a ball that
and he wasn't trying to
reach.
throw it away.
No, exactly.
And then,
but Purdue was, why though? Purdue was stuffing their run so well. That's the thing.
That's what you got to do to a MAC team, though, right? Yeah. That's what you got to do to a MAC.
Exactly.
Well, this week they have to take away the pass. If they let Missouri have the pass, they're in big trouble. They've
got great offensive weapons. Missouri does.
Let me ask you something though, Purdue. You're not worried right now going to the Missouri game. You're not. I would assume you're not concerned about Purdue scoring, right? I know their receivers dropped a lot of balls, but they put a lot of points up on two different teams. They
I'm not worried about
28 on Louisville, and they're going to
look at context. They did. They fired their defensive coordinator because they suck. They're not going to make that better this week. It's not going to happen.
Right.
So Purdue will score. So the only real question is, you guys don't have any other place to think, but it's David Blau's start, right?
Well,
definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Here are two responses to the question about whether we're sure Purdue will score. Why I'm kind of iffy. Not iffy, but I don't want it as a given. In that first quarter and a half, Purdue had these long, sustained drives, dominated by the run, and then all of a sudden there would be two incomplete passes, where Sindelar hit him in the numbers. Yeah. Sindelar literally hit him square in the numbers.
He deserved better. He
finished 5 of 11. He probably.
Yeah, but he should have been like 9 of 11.
Yeah.
There were 4 really bad drops.
Man,
right. He was accurate.
Did you guys watch? I haven't watched the video yet. I recorded every Big Ten and 60 or whatever, Big Ten football and 60. So I'm hoping it's on one of them because they don't give you any information. And when you reach out to Big Ten on Twitter, they also don't tell you when the game's going to be, which is awesome. But
it's a mystery. It's a grab.
How the hell do they not know that? Somebody
they know.
Puts the program. Yeah, that's bullshit. So anyway, but Sindelar was throwing strikes, right? He was putting the ball in the money, and Blau was throwing strikes. But the bigger thing that I looked, and I'd like to figure out why this was happening. Why were the receivers so open?
It's great routes. I mean, great routes because there was some pre-snap from what I could tell on the tape. There was pre-snap motion that was a little bit unorthodox, especially from a Purdue team. If you would have scouted Western Michigan, I think those were new. I think a lot of what the offensive line does is very weird. Not weird, but it's just like sometimes they block for a power run play, and that tricks the linebackers, and all of a sudden, there's no help. So it's just basically one-on-one. And so you're not playing, like, the cornerbacks get no help. If the cornerback's beaten, that's it.
Right.
And Purdue's wide receivers are fast. Like, they're all really fast, but all of them have stone hands.
Yeah,
See, I don't think they're fast. I don't think
think any of them are good at receiving. Maybe Anthrop, but he's also played 2 college
he's
games.
good.
Yeah,
he's good.
He's got
the tight ends. The tight ends look.
Tight ends look great.
Fantastic.
Tight ends are a legit weapon.
Yes.
I still don't think the wide receivers are weapons. I don't think they're that
Yeah.
fast. I don't think they run that great of routes, and I don't think they have really good hands.
They're bad. Like, we can say it.
But
like
they have to be. They have to.
Oh,
be
I've
running
said it in
routes.
every post. They're quality receivers, and that's not going to change for the rest of the season.
I mean,
the real question is,
Phillips and Mahangu, like, they could probably be, if they're your 4th receiver, they're your slot receiver. You bring them in, change your pace.
Hey, Anish, ask Michael where those receivers would fall on the Michigan depth chart.
On the Michigan depth chart.
Yeah, just to see what
We'll
happens.
ask those questions next week.
They would be like a scout team.
Yeah,
they'd be walk-ons. But Herdman and Hopkins are both. Herdman is really good. I mean, like,
I think they're both really good. I'm really impressed with both those guys. Not only I think Hopkins had a drop ball though, didn't he too?
Yeah.
He even had a big one last week.
That's what I'm talking about. It's like
Blau, the Louisville week.
Oh, really? I don't remember that one.
And it was Blau. It was right over the middle, like it was on a 3rd down, and it would have completed the drive. It hit him in the hands, and it blocked out. So, like, I don't understand, but the receivers are bad. The tight ends are good. Tight ends are good options, which is nice. Tario Fuller was awesome. I mean, and the offensive line. I mean, like, I don't know if that's a consequence of playing the MAC, but, like, Tario Fuller and the offensive line looked amazing.
Man, he had so much space to run. Like, that was the thing that was great, is he'd make a little move. Like, it wasn't like a fantastic move, but then he would have 7 yards where there was nobody near him. And it happened again and again and again. And so all I can gather is here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to be conservative and just say Ohio's horrible, but they're not. They're really not horrible. The proof shows they're not horrible. What the media thinks of them, what they've been the last few years, they're solid. But they looked really bad. And Louisville, by the way, looked really good, especially in the midway through the 3rd quarter and the 4th quarter versus a solid program in North Carolina. I know North Carolina is trying to retool a little bit, but they'll go to a bowl too. I mean,
how many all-purpose yards did Lamar Jackson have? 600, close to pushing 600?
606 TDs. I mean,
amazing.
And the funny thing is, the thing that's amazing is not only did he have that many yards, but then the media was like, meh. You look at all these different play outlets, they didn't give him like player of the week or whatever, helmet stickers, any of that. And I was like, that guy's the truth, man. He's
still the best player in college football. I mean,
easy. I guess it's because everybody's expecting it that he doesn't get any credit. Give me a break. You put him on anything, he's amazing. You think
he didn't even get. I mean, like, he's one of the most dynamic players of the last, 10 years. Like, I mean, post Tebow, he's one of the most dynamic college players that I've seen, and nobody really made a big deal out of his Heisman thing last year. I mean, even last year, like, I don't know, but like for Purdue's system, whether it was the offense or the defense, like blitzing all the time or attacking and swarming all the time, or what, I have no idea. Maybe it was just off-season rust that Purdue held them to 350 all-purpose yards. But that's a good sign. Now, Ohio did win the MAC did finish 2nd in the MAC last year, right? Mm-hmm. And they returned a lot of linebackers, but there was a lot of arm tackling that was missed. I mean, they looked like, Joe Tiller Purdue teams, right? Like, there was just a ton of arm tackling that was completely missed. And so I'm not sure if Ohio is as good as as advertised. Now
I think it's okay. I think it's okay to be skeptical, and I think
Yeah.
it's. I hope Purdue's coaches. I'm sure they're behind the scenes. They're being just kind of saying you're going to play a better team this week, whatever. You know, get
How
them ready.
awesome does it
A
feel
lot more
to just be
Missouri
confident?
than to get from Ohio.
Oh yeah, how awesome
Yeah.
does it feel to just be just have complete confidence?
But knowing they're going to score
Everybody.
points. That's.
Yeah.
I mean, I know
That's serious.
how you know this is going to sound weird, but there was a moment. I'm going to go back 2 games, but in that Louisville, in the Ohio game, the 4 drops in like 1 possession practically. It was frustrating. But then the Louisville game, that possession where Purdue got screwed like 4 times, there was something about that though for me that was like, I'm sort of excited that I at least have like this game is competitive enough that I can feel like we got jobbed, right? Like at least
Like,
Purdue was
we got
due,
a bad call, but by 30.
but it was 56-10, right? Like who cares? Like it was like there was something about it. It was like Purdue's in a game where against a ranked team where it's getting affected by a shitty call, and that's they haven't been there in a long time.
That's how low the bar is at this point.
Well, yeah, but being in close games that people are switching over to and actually watching, like that's
I mean,
just what's fun about this.
the national writers are like making it like, you know, Spencer Hall at SB Nation was making like, I'm going to turn off the lights and take my pants off to watch Purdue now. Like, I mean, like those kind of things, like those kind of,
That's who doesn't do it. Oh, so he's going to watch the way we watch, you're saying. Right. Well, by the way, can I just say for the record, I know you guys will make fun of me for this, but I think it's important if people cover football, they should know some of the basics. That wasn't a double reverse. It wasn't even a reverse. It wasn't a double reverse.
It was not a double reverse.
It was a double flea flicker. And so all right, class, a reverse, right? An end takes the ball on a handoff, right? He comes around, he takes it, and he starts heading to the other side. If he hands it off to an end coming the other way, guy split out wide who's coming back the other way, that's a reverse.
Yeah,
if he then hands it to a third guy going the other direction, that's a double reverse.
Yes.
That's so exceedingly rare in college, in any form of football.
I've watched this play maybe 4,000 or 5,000 times. Oh, God.
First of all, did you see Brohm gets lit up by the 2? There's 2 guys who just.
Oh yeah, the guy on the left side hits him hard.
There 2 things stood out 3 things. So Blau getting rocked, but standing in the pocket and throwing, that was one of them. The second was that the guy that whoever Blau threw it to, I'm blanking now.
The tight end.
Was it Herdman?
Herdman, yeah.
Herdman was the second option.
On
that throw. I think it was Mahangu who was running
the deep option.
Yeah.
The go route. Yes.
Yeah, he ran but the route that Herdman ran was a wheel. So Herdman,
nobody's going to cover that on a flea flicker. No one's going to cover that. No one even knows he's over there.
Herdman ended up blocking for the reverse or blocking for the first flea flicker wheel route. Right. And
it's such a great play. It's such a great call.
Blau had the at least knew whether he has the skills or not. He knew that read Mahangu first. He wasn't there. He was being double covered by the corner and the safety. That means that there's no safety out, and that means the linebacker already crashed. So there's nobody getting Herdman.
Then see if your giant tight end is all by himself with 50 yards of field around him in all directions.
Running a double flea flicker on one hand is like just so ballsy, and running a wheel route on that is just so perfect.
So were any of you finding yourself saying, "Oh, it's awesome, but don't waste it on Ohio. Save that for someone that really will matter."
I think he's got more in store for you.
I think you're right.
So my question going into the Missouri game. So this is the first question is whether the receivers can actually catch balls.
Yeah.
But the second is
the answer. No, they cannot.
Will Blau just take the reins off? Like will Brohm take the reins off? Like will he just go all out? Like pull all the stops.
They might have to.
No,
they might have
this
to.
Game, I don't think.
Who are you saving it for? IU?
I don't think he saves it. Is the thing. I think that those types of plays are part of how he calls.
They're in the book
every game. They're in the book for every game, and I don't think there is a letting the reins loose. I think he just calls.
I'll think about the Louisville game. They called an awful one. You know, the flea flicker there to the back of the end zone. That was
few more reps in practice. Yeah.
He also flipped the flicker was too fast. Remember, he handed it, and whoever it was turned around and flipped it back to him before it could have ever had any impact on the defense.
Yeah.
And so surprisingly, no one was open. Like
these calls, because I think if you're Purdue, this is how you win games.
It's again. I mean, there's another Tiller type thing. I mean, this is what we've all been saying, right? Don't bring in a coach that's just going to run the Ohio State offense. Bring in a coach that's going to be insane, and not the. I mean, like honestly, even the Danny Hope kind of insane worked for a few years.
We haven't seen a gadget play in how many years? Like literally, no exaggeration. I don't remember. I don't remember ever having a trick play, even not a trick play, but a goofy gadget play.
No, hold on. Shoop always had something up his sleeve. I think you're not being fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair. Shoop was
sometimes he would run right, sometimes he would throw it out in the flat. Yeah, that was crazy stuff.
The flat, and then he'd go like the flat on the other side.
Bubble screen.
Draw
3rd and long. Yeah.
Well, and it's so crazy. He lined up a linebacker as quarterback.
And a quarterback as linebacker too.
Yeah,
quarterback as linebacker and a safety as a quarterback. All quarterbacks.
Those were the times when you got a quarterback at linebacker, and then you're playing Penn State or Michigan. You're like, oh my goodness,
right? Like some 5-star who can actually throw the ball.
Oh my gosh!
By the way, Penn State's. So this is kind of leading into it. So Penn State's backup quarterback is from Indiana. He initially committed to IU. I think he was a 4-star, Tommy Stevens, and he committed to Michigan State, and seems to love the Joe Moorhead offense. But also, I think Trace McSorley, the starter at Penn State, is pretty well entrenched, though he's mediocre.
Wait, are you saying he committed to 3 different places? That you're saying
no, he committed to Indiana, decommitted, went to Penn State. And
I think Michigan State at some point.
No, Penn State. So he wants to play. He seems to like Penn State, but he wants to be closer to Indiana. So all of the Penn State boards are talking about the inevitability of Jeff Brohm luring him home. He's a talented quarterback, and he'll have eligibility next year. My question related to this and related,
next year?
Yeah, he can be he enrolled early at Penn State, and so he can graduate in 3 years. He'd functionally be graduating 3 years.
He won't get playing time at Purdue. In all seriousness, he won't.
So that was my question: does it matter who the quarterback is in this system?
Yes,
of course it matters. It matters.
Yeah.
So do you think? I mean, would it be, or is it just that these two quarterbacks are just good enough that it doesn't matter who is in?
I think these guys are both good. I mean,
good enough.
I said that. I think they're good. I think these guys are both good. I said this before, that Blau needed a system to play. He showed he can throw the ball, and he's got some moxie.
Wow.
And I think Sindelar, both these guys were not slouches coming out of high school. So
I mean, do you guys agree with what I think I put it on Twitter? I don't know if I put it in the post, but I felt like I saw progress from Blau in terms of decision making. I saw him, look at guys who were covered that he would have thrown to last year or last week.
He ate it a lot in the second half, too, right?
Made much better decision.
Well, but it's almost like they put him on a super tight leash, though, didn't they? Say,
okay, whatever it takes.
Yeah, and you know what else Brohm said? We were trying to do some things to use up clock, which was obvious. But the thing that I wonder, and maybe this is the only question I came out of the Ohio game asking was Purdue even trying offensively in the second half to move the ball after midway through the third?
Not really. Well, you know what else? You know what I think that is too? When you're up 34-7 and you're this Purdue team, you're like, I've never been here before. This game is like it's very difficult to stay focused for even a good team in that kind of situation. So think about how hard it is to keep, the pedal down when you're going to win.
But I don't know if it was focus. I just think it was the
play calling.
Yeah, the play calling got a little more lenient. If he wanted to run the score up, I think he could have.
I hope so, but I don't know. But I don't really care either. They won
by 3 touchdowns. Who cares?
Exactly.
More than 3.
And the point spread was 4.5 points.
Right.
I mean, so Purdue still won by 23. It just and the spread on this game. By the way,
how much was Purdue up by versus Nebraska last year?
Oh boy,
last year or 2 years ago.
Right? Was that
last year?
I thought it was
No.
last year.
No, that was 2 years ago. Last year was Nebraska was Parker's first game, remember? And he got beat. 2 years ago. They were up maybe 20, 21, and then they let
That's all I could, honestly, that's all I could think of
you're
when
right.
Purdue was up at the half. So that's all I could think of. I was like, and then they came back.
But that was but 24-0 was their second quarter. That's really impressive. 24 points in a quarter.
Right. And there were no pick sixes or returns for touchdowns.
Well, was it one of you saying this, or was it other people on Twitter? Like when Purdue? Oh no, it was a friend of mine watching the game with me. So when Purdue calls that timeout with like 30 seconds to go, and Ohio's out of third down, and they're clearly calling a timeout because they're like, well, let's get the ball back. Right. And he says to me, he goes, under Hazel, they would have somehow tripped on them. Right. They would have gotten the ball, then fumbled it, and then kicked it back into their own end zone or something. And meanwhile, the very next play, Ohio fumbles and Purdue gets the ball in great position. It's like, wow, just like that shit never happened in the last few years.
Well, I mean, football IQ on that coaching staff versus this coaching staff. It's like you're dealing with,
oh my gosh,
second and third graders, and now you've actually got coaches that know what they're doing.
Well, that's the other thing is that the football IQ on this coaching staff versus, let's say, the average coaching staff in Power 5. Like, I think it's better. I mean, like, I think Purdue all of a sudden has one of the better coaching staffs in the country. And the talent doesn't have, doesn't match up with what they want to do. But, I think
that's a little bit of an exaggeration.
That's a little strong.
The best
I agree.
coaching staffs in the country. I think Purdue has outkicked its coverage as far as the quality of the staff it has.
Is somebody sitting next to a radioactive?
Oh,
you can hear that. I just walked down the hallway in my hotel to get some water.
I thought maybe you're at a dot matrix printer or something.
They've got one of those. I was looking for an ice bucket for the last 10 minutes in my room because I knew there was.
No, it's
and now you're taking a leak, I assume. So
it sounds like an alien.
No, I'm filling my bottle with water.
Okay.
You guys
probing
being such children about this?
No.
It's the slowest fill I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm still filling.
No, we'll wait on you. Don't worry.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not recording a
That's fine.
podcast
No,
here.
just
initial.
stand by.
Out. Yeah.
Stand by. No, don't edit any. This is gold.
Like that.
Well, I was going to say I would like to keep this handsome hour at a half hour, which we're already past that. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to ask you guys if you could give 1 point of improvement that you'd like to see for next week versus Missouri. What would it be?
Without including the wide receivers catching the ball?
No, that can be it. Just one. You can only give one. You can only give one, though.
Oh, it's
what was the question? Something I'd like to see happen against Missouri?
Something you'd like to see improved over the previous 2 weeks.
I'd like our wide receivers to be able to receive the ball.
Yeah, I think that's I think if they catch the ball.
Nope. Justin, you're gone.
I think he's
not there.
I think he's gone.
Oh, hey, you're here now.
Yes.
I'm here. I'm back in my room where I've got Wi-Fi. I'm all good. I got my water. Everything's under control.
Okay.
I'd like to see. I feel like what I said. I don't know how much of it came through. I feel like if the receivers catch the ball, I really like Purdue's chances against Missouri. And I'd like to see happen is I'd like this game to be televised on a network I can see it on, because all I've seen so far is it's on the SEC network.
It's on SEC network. Yep.
Come on.
I actually ordered it. I ordered it for this week.
Oh,
I just changed my cable package for that game.
I'm gonna have to get Sling or something to watch this stupid ass game because I can't get the SEC network on Dolan cable.
Thank you. That's awesome. Thanks.
But you get hit Dolan's Smooth Jazz channel, so it's
that's pretty awesome. yeah. There's costs to everything, and that's
true. There's a trade off. Yeah,
most of the time, after a long day, you'll sip some brandy and listen to the Dolan Smooth Jazz.
In his hat.
James Dolan's the worst.
He is bad.
What do you want to see improve, Mike?
But maybe that's asking for too much.
If I had something else, it's just like if the pass rush was a little bit more reliable. I think with Lorenzo Neal back for the whole game, that'll be an improvement. I mean, this defense is that's almost more because with Brohm you expected, like with the Brohm brothers, you expected the offense to be creative and new and active and fast and all of this, and they are. And Bilal was probably a little more efficient than any of us thought, but I think the defense has really been kind of a revelation. Even just the way that it looks. And so if even just a little more like just breaking the offensive line is available during Missouri, like I don't know, like even if
I want to see
wide
how the
receiver
special teams plays, because
Oh
Louisville
man, that's a good one.
did pretty much what they wanted to on kickoff returns, and Ohio just doesn't have the athletes to abuse Purdue. So I want to see how another Power 5 team does.
Special teams,
Purdue.
flat out, it's trouble, right? I mean, I think we can say that they've had major mistakes every game, or both games. So I think that's a very good one. I'd like to see something that I don't think, and maybe you guys can freshen my memory or give me. I'd like to see the running backs get involved in the passing game a little bit more, because I don't think we've seen a lot of that. And I think if they can do that, what I'm looking for is really diversity in offense, because I think the tight ends are sound. We need more, right? You need more ways to spread the ball around, because I don't want to say it's one dimensional, but it's not as you have a good running game. You've had some great passing to the tight ends, and then some stuff that's been kind of conservative out in the flats, right? But you got to do something else, I think, to continue to thicken the playbook and give more options, give teams more things to look at in video.
It's not even just that. So I was hoping for more of that after the Louisville game, and I think we saw a little bit. Not in the passing game, but the running backs were utilized a little better. The running game was working a little better. I really like Fuller and Langford Johnson, like as the halfbacks, and oddly enough, Knox and Jones was out this game, but Knox is probably, the most talented running back probably.
Has Jones been officially ruled out? I heard he was doing better, and there was a chance that
he really wants to play. I think he's got family in Missouri, is what was said, and so he really wants to play. And they're keeping their options open, but I'm not sure how realistic that is. But if Knox could be, even if Jones doesn't play, if Knox was used a little more in the pass game, like I think that would be dangerous. Even if, like, let's say both Fuller and Langford Johnson are in the backfield, just put Knox out wide. What's the worst that can happen? He doesn't catch the ball. Right. Like, that's going to happen anyway.
Yep.
So like, I putting Knox in the slot, putting Knox even as the second running back, just kind of running an out route or something.
I think we'll see. I think we'll see more of Sparks actually, because we saw that a little bit. There was 3 plays in a row where he was involved, and then he was out split wide many times in other situations. So I think we may see Sparks being folded into the offense a little bit more. And that Wildcat, I'll tell you what, they had a play where I think Kurt Barron was out in front of Sparks. That's pretty terrifying, right? To have the center pulling that far out into space. And what he got, I think he got 9 yards, and they needed 3 on that play. That was an excellent. It was a well-designed play. Again, I think they ran to the short side, and actually made sense because of mismatches. I mean, that's one thing about. If you think back to Hope teams, right, because there was some cleverness, especially early. Nord seemed to have more ideas, or was more open to trying different things, especially early. They seemed to always run the play to the wrong side of the field, if that makes any sense. When they needed space, they'd run it short. When they needed mismatches, they'd run it long, and so, but that one looked like it was brilliant, because not only was there space, there were mismatches, and Barron was out there just looking for somebody to hit, So I got to go. That's one I want to see on tape, why there was so much space out there.
I just want to see. I want to see those kind of plays working against, like, even as bad as Missouri's defense might be. Like, I want to see it against another high major offense,
a power five opponent. Right?
I mean, that's in Louisville, it didn't seem like the reins were off yet, or it just didn't seem like the quarterbacks knew. Were comfortable, like they needed a game with the offense, or at least a half with the offense to.
It's hard to make a lot of judgments based on the first game of the season. Pretty much every.
That's fair. Yeah, that's very fair. But like I would really like to see if these things work, because if they do, like if they do with this talent, that bodes well for the next, I don't know how many ever years that Jeff Brohm stays in West Lafayette until he goes to Louisville.
I would like to. I just want to completely unrelated point out to you guys that Nathan Baird, the Boilers Extra podcast with the Journal and Courier, when he tweeted it, he said, "We discussed this on our not that handsome, but in my opinion, still worthwhile podcast today." So we got a little subtweet there. So
Baird is a friend of the program.
Baird is a very good friend of the program.
We need more guests like Baird and Schultz and Anish and I were talking about this. We need to start getting some guests on appropriate weeks, right?
Yeah, exactly. You illustrious guests, we're saving you. Well, keeping you in the bullpen until until when Purdue is 10-1. And
I actually had someone recently, a Purdue celebrity. I'm not going to tell you who it is. We can tell off the air. Request some time on the Handsome Hour recently, so came to me and requested some time.
What are you going to tell us off the air? Tell us if he's asking to be on. Who was it?
Should I tell?
Keep them wanting more. Keep them wanting more. Keep them wanting more.
I'm not supposed to tell on the air. Yeah, I'm not supposed to tell on the air.
All right.
But if he's listening right now, he knows about
Orville Redenbacher.
Yes. The undead.
And the last thing before we do predictions, the lights look good, man. Like the lights looked weird. Like just
I thought that football looked nice at night under lights. Like who could have ever thought that?
Who could have predicted that?
Football under lights with the shiny helmets. That looks so good. Okay, predictions.
Not doing it right now. I'm making them read, man.
By 3.
I have Purdue winning a close game.
What did Michael say? By 3?
By 3.
And the spread, by the way, is Mizzou.
It's like a touchdown.
Mizzou's 7.5, which is probably right. I mean, like
what have they done to earn that?
That's stupid. That's dumb
done to earn any benefit of the doubt over the last.
What's
7
Purdue done?
years.
I don't know. Won by 3 touchdowns last week when they were a 4-point favorite.
Right now.
Against the MAC team. Congratulations.
So they were a 4-point favorite.
No, you got. It's not just a MAC team.
Wasn't that a 10-win MAC team? Wasn't that
don't complain about the free money that Vegas gives you.
Yeah, exactly.
And Missouri lost a home game. Missouri got whooped at home, and they gave up 43 to a non-FBS team. So I don't. What have they done to earn a 7-point favor? Whatever. I mean, I know it's based on the betting. I just think it's an insane.
They did put up 72 points in their first week against Nobody State, Missouri State University,
and gave up 43.
I think it's going to be close. I do think this is kind of semi crazy to predict a Purdue win over an SEC team on the road. But I don't know. I'm feeling it. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, baby.
But yet here we are.
I gotta tell you, in the words of my old friend James Brown, I don't know karate, but I know crazy. So I'm just giving you guys a little bit of a preview of my predicto. So
nice.
I'm not gonna tell you that.
I like it. Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
And if we lose, it's just gravy. I mean, like we all expected to, but if we win, we're gonna count this.
The thing is, if they win, let's say they win like they did against Ohio, where it's kind of a no doubter in the second half. Do you start dreaming about the Michigan game? Do you start thinking no? Or no chance. Okay.
I have already predicted that Purdue's going to the college football playoff, so I would like that prediction to be kept on the record.
Oh, you'll get credit for it. You'll get credit for it because I did not predict that. So.
Any chance Michigan's looking past Purdue? Any chance of that?
Yes.
Not if Purdue beats Missouri.
Not if Purdue beats
Harbaugh is insane. No.
Harbaugh's insane. You're right. Harbaugh's
Can I tell you how much it bothers me that Harbaugh is a weirdo in kind of an uncomfortable way, right? Like he's got that. You've heard me describe him before. He's got that vacant weirdo stare, but he's also. You realize he's dressing like Bo Schembechler, right? With the hat and the glasses.
Oh yeah.
Like hasn't he always sort of dressed like that?
That M hat and the glasses. He's
bringing it all together little by little, right? It's becoming more Schembechler-esque.
It's very strange, and he didn't even play for Schembechler, did he? Didn't he play for Carr? Oh, he did play for Schembechler. Okay.
No, he played for Schembechler. Yeah,
he played for Schembechler.
He didn't play for Moeller?
No, I'm pretty sure he played for Schembechler, I thought.
I guess.
But
I'm not
yeah,
a Michigan grad. I don't know.
he's a weirdo looking.
He's a weirdo. He's a weird dude. But we'll talk smack about him next week.
Exactly. We'll figure out once Purdue is 2-1. Oh my God, a winning record. First time, like if Purdue wins, which they won't. The first the first winning record.
They were whoa. They were 3-2 last year. Yeah. When they beat Illinois, they were 3-2.
Illinois, yeah, I forgot
they
that
were 3-2
overtime
and 1-1 in the Big Ten, and
that overtime victory against Illinois
when he kicked his heels together. But that was a week after losing 50-7 to Maryland when his coffin was nailed shut.
Oh, that was the heel clicking.
Yeah,
I remember that moment now. I forgot about that. That was fun. That was actually a fun one.
Yeah.
To be perfectly fair to Hazel,
in context,
I mean, like it was like you're in a desolate wasteland.
Was that a field goal to win? Is that right, or am I wrong about that? Wasn't there?
I think so. Yeah,
it was a missed field goal at the end of
That's where he kicked his heels together when they missed
the missed field goal, and then went into overtime, and then
he iced them. Didn't he call 3 timeouts in a row?
I don't know.
Yes,
he did.
I believe he did.
At least two. Yeah. At least two. But I
very
think
easily. This is going to be a fun one this weekend.
Yep. Well, gentlemen, I'll tell you what's been fun. Just hanging out with you guys. I feel like a better person. I enjoy our time together. But because I have to get my beauty sleep.
Somebody left.
Yeah, somebody left. Well, that's because I'm bidding everybody adieu, I guess. They're already battening down the hatches. So, are we still recording? How about that question?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Well, hey, Michael, welcome back.
He's gone. He's not there.
No, he's
bye.
Okay.
Rest in peace, Michael.
Well, let's give everybody else, everybody who's listening, just if you want to give them a final thought, but I just want to tell everybody I love them. That's really it.
Expect points. Bet the over.
Bet the over. I wonder what the over under is. I bet it's 100.
75 and a half, I think.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
The over under 75 and a half.
I bet the over.
I'll bet the over.
I'm so glad all the degenerate gamblers have tuned in today.
That's right.
That's right. You guys are talking about things I don't even know what you're saying.
Yeah, I always like how he does this. I don't know what that's. What's Tinder? I've never even heard of it. I don't know what that is. What's Grindr? I don't know what Grindr is. It sounds like a sandwich. Oh, it is. It is.
I actually don't know what Grindr is.
You should download the app. Don't say anything. Download the app. It's it's an antiquing app.
That sounds delicious. Okay, good.
You can and you can also make Grindr sandwiches. It's really delicious. Great recipe.
I like it. Like on a nice crusty hoagie roll.
Lot of oil and vinegar.
I love that. The tanginess of
a lot of steaks, a lot of sausage sandwiches.
I love sausage.
Wow, where is this
going to end it right there?
Yeah.
You've been listening to the Boiled Sports Handsome Hour with our special guests.
Sponsored by Grindr.
Hey, we could. We're not going to do that. We have a couple potential sponsors just kind of waiting to pull the trigger, and I'm excited about that. We're about to be rich, bitch. I mean,
it's true.
We're about to.
I don't want to blow it too early, but Coca-Cola and Subway,
exactly. That's right. Couple small partners. So, but thanks for listening to the Handsome Hour.
So. Was that my cue? I didn't know where you were going. I thought we were done already. I thought we finished it now with sponsored by Grindr.
No.
This is the weakest ending to a podcast.
No, it's not over yet, Hank. We haven't.
Oh my God,
Hank!
Someone take this dog out back and shoot it.
Anish can. He's gonna edit this all out. It'll be fine. I'll just do it. This has been the Handsome Hour. BoiledSports.com. BS all the time.
BoiledSports.com/Grindr.
www.https www.boiledsports.com
By the way,
/
speaking of
September
sponsors, I
2017.
want to share this with you guys. There was some guy, I got to find it in my emails here. Some guy contacts me from a grill company. Like, hold on, let me find it here. Oh, Char Griller, and
Dude,
he says,
I use a griller.
yes, well, he wants to give away a Char Griller
To
one
me.
to one of our readers. I was like,
I
so
read the site.
right. Well, you can win then. We just so he wants to, if we want to do a contest, and all we have to do is like tweet pictures of the grill and post once or twice about the grill. And I was like, sure, we'll do that. And
What about me tweeting pictures of me using my char griller without a shirt on? Without pants on. Like
just some smoke to cover up your bits.
Yes,
right? Just like
Just a little bit of smoke.
Just
I
a
like
chef's
little
hat.
bit of
Just a chef's
tiny bit of
hat
smoke.
and a little chef's hat that says "Kiss the Cook."
Exactly,
Kiss my sausage.
like just a wispy tiny bit of smoke, right? That's all I really need.
Right. Just a little puff.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, I said what we would do. I just kind of made it up on the fly because he didn't give me any guidance as to how he. But I said, what if we do a contest where we let readers, predict the final score of a game and, whatever it is, and we give it away. But he still didn't bite on like, I'll give you guys one to use, but you already have one, so I guess you can speak.
No, but that's the thing. I just bought a bunch of parts for my 4-year-old grill, and I could use another one. So.
Well, it wasn't offered to us. It was offered to our readers. We have enough riches from the site, so.
Yeah, that's a good point. We're so loaded. Wait, no, we don't have a nickel. We don't have pennies. We don't have pesos. There's no.
Well, we're gonna get that shirt deal, and then we're gonna get then it's just gonna roll in.
Yeah, just let it begin. Let it begin. You've been listening to the Char Griller Handsome Hour.
BS all the time.